Oh, baby. Oh, baby. I am who I am. My name is my name. My hair's still crazy as shit. I'm going to get a cut for my sister's wedding. Welcome in to episode, what episode am I on? 78? 78 of Shooting the Shit with Sands, man. And today we got the NBA coming back tonight. I'm recording this on Thursday. I'm releasing on Friday. I'm releasing tomorrow. I'm off. Got a new podcast starting with Chris, Colt, and Landon. Should be fun. Going to be talking a lot of random shit on that podcast too, you know. My brand. But here we are. I'm pissed off. Already got stains. I poured a whiskey Coke for the podcast. I'm off today. I hadn't drank in 10 days. Also, I think that's why I lost a lot of weight when I had strep after I had the viddy. Now, listen, guys. I thought I could come in here and record a podcast with strep. No. That's why it's like almost an exact week. Because I try to record every Thursday. Release on Friday or Monday or whatever, you know. And this shit sucks. It's been sucking. It's like I've actually dedicated myself to this content. Shit, I got a fucking board over here full of stats and all this, and then I get fucking viddy and some strep. It was not fun at all. It was horrible. It was fucking horrible. Horrific. But yeah, man. And I just had problems with my new software. I got new editing software, so we may have some new features on this pod, like some weird shit going on, which would be pretty cool to me. Hopefully I can get that done, figure some shit out on this new. I'm going to fuck around with it, you know what I mean, and see what I can do. But yeah, we're doing the mid-season awards. It's not even mid-season. This is where the season really ramps up. We're about 2/3 through the way, right? Or 3/4, however you... No, we're not. 3/4 would be 70 games. We're a little bit past the halfway point, and 2/3 was a good comparison, honestly. Anywho, we're doing my awards, and we're doing Coach of the Year, Most Improved Player, Sixth Man of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, MVP, and the MVP segment's going to take me a while because I want to really get these points out on these 5 players that I think are playing great. And once again, guys, this is not who I think is going to win. These are my picks, and these are probably going to be the finalists, absolutely. But yeah, also check out the new Mike jersey. This Mike jersey with a patch, dog. This Mike jersey is ice fucking water. Ice water dripping, swag, drip. That's the water drop. That's me. I'm the drip. The kids still say that shit? I don't fucking know. Oh, this couch. Nia. Oh, by the way, Nia hates that I put the grandma couch out here, okay? She hates our grandma couch. Listen, we've all been there. This is our first apartment together. This is not my first apartment, but I lived alone previously. But, dude, I'm trying to tell her, bro, there's women with 2 kids living at their mom's house with no car and fucking for KFC. I think I can put our fucking little shitty couch in the goddamn video. No, we don't have luxury furniture. We aren't rich around here, okay? Good for you if you are. Congrats, bro. Anyways, let's get right into the NBA season. So, before we get to these awards that are going to take a minute, man. This is going to be a long pod, and it's going to be a fun pod. But before we get into that, expectations for the second, the last part of the year, right? I'm excited. The Heat are the 1 seed. I'm a Heat fan, Tampa Bay fan. If you don't know by now, you should know. Also, subscribe to the fucking channel. Like the video. Follow my Spotify. Anyways, I'm excited for the Heat. I'm just doing my Heat outlook. Victor Oladipo could come back. Markieff Morris could come back. And people don't know how big that is with Markieff Morris. Because we don't have to run any 2 center lineups anymore. Even though I think that's something Spo is experimenting with, and it's looking good when we do it. It's looking very good when we do it. And you never know what could happen in the buyout market. Talking about the buyout market, the Nets. The Nets got Goran Dragic, former Heat star. He wasn't a star. He was good, though. I think that he is an older player. But if the mandates don't get lifted, I think it's a good substitute for Kyrie in the meantime. Is he Kyrie? And I'm not ever going to say he's Kyrie. No. But he is the same type of player as Kyrie in the sense that he can get his own shot whenever he wants. He's a mid-range pull-up guy. He's a good playmaker, and he's good off the pick and roll, man. So I think that's a really good pickup for the Nets, and he's going to come in handy in the playoffs, in my opinion, if it lasts and goes well and he fits in there, you know? And I think he will. I think Goran Dragic fits everywhere. I think that he was trying to bring leadership to a Raptors team that wasn't looking for any, and then it went sour. He was used to that Heat shit, and he realized the Raptors are a winning organization, but some shit ain't ran like the Heat. And I don't think the Nets are ran like the Heat, but I also think he has a relationship with Steve Nash, and he can tell Steve, hey, yo, look, you know what I mean? So people forget they played together at the Suns in Phoenix, so that would be very interesting. A couple teams I'm looking to make big pushes. I'm going to do this real quickly, guys. A couple teams I'm looking to make big pushes in the end of the season. In my next video, not to interrupt what I was saying, I'm going to do the real 6 contenders, and I may put that in this if it doesn't take me that long. I may just do an hour 20 pod. Put the real 6 to 7 teams I really think can win the title, and the rest are just the rest, okay? The rest are the rest. And, yeah. And I think the teams that are going to make a big push are the Bucks, the Nets, if Kyrie and Ben Simmons come back, and that's a big if. So are they in stone to me? No. And it's weird that they're looked at as a title contender while they're in the 8th seed. I understand why, though. Don't you? Like, I mean, bro, that talent on that team is crazy. With James Harden, Kyrie, and KD, they went 13-3. You know what I mean? They were very good. And then I just think Steve Nash's the roster got kind of exploited and exposed against the Bucks after Kyrie went down, even though they lost by 25 without Kyrie, right? The Bucks did. The Bucks lost by 20 plus, I believe, to a Nets team without Kyrie. And then with Kyrie there, it looked like the series was going to be over in 5 or 6. But that's why you can't determine a series in the first couple of games. Remember those Rocket series with the Warriors back in the day? Remember those? Every game? Every game it seemed like the Rockets were up by 15-20. And then you just realize Draymond Green spoke on this, that James Harden was going to slow down, and adjustments happen. That's why when great coaches like Coach Bud and shit is in a series, you can't take it away. And I think the Cavs, I think it's going to be interesting to see how the Cavs, if they can be as consistent as they were in the beginning of the season and push that through the whole year. And I think they're going to be an exciting team to watch in the playoffs, and a team that nobody really watched until probably the All-Star break. Now they're going to start watching them because they had a couple All-Stars out there, and that's what the All-Star game is for, is to show you the talent out there. I want to watch individually Tyrese Halliburton play on the Pacers. He's dropping nutty numbers, bro. He's going crazy over there, and that just shows the talent that the Kings gave up. I want to see how the Hawks, will they improve? I want to see Tom Thibodeau's future. I think he's a 1-year, 2-year culture fix, and that's all he is. I think D. Rose made everybody overrate him as a coach, even though he had that success in Boston with Doc Rivers being their defensive mastermind. It is what it is. Now, into the awards, baby. I'm doing top 3 for everything but MVP, where I'm doing top 5, okay? And if I miss an award, fuck off, suck my cock. Now, Coach of the Year. I got all this shit to the left, so when I'm looking away, I'm going to keep looking back. So my top 3, I think there's one dude in there that nobody's talking about. Number 3. He's missed some key players through his roster all year and has maintained a high seed in his conference. That is Billy Donovan. Jesus, camera went off. Billy Donovan is number 3. Number 2 seed, tied for the 1 seed in the East. We have the tiebreaker over them. Lonzo Ball's been out. Zach LaVine's been out. It's a new whole roster with a lot of guys who need the ball, and Billy Donovan has just done great. You know, he's coming off the weird scenario where it's, I don't know. The OKC thing was weird. Then he moved on, and now he's with the Bulls, where I think he found a home, you know? But I can say that, but you don't know how that organization looks at it. What if they're 1 round and bust this year? Which is a total possibility in the East, which is loaded. Loaded. They get a first-round matchup if they go down to the 3 seed. I mean, you're talking about they could play the Nets the first round. They could play the Nets the first round. The Bucks are the 5 seed right now. I expect them to climb a little bit, but maybe not. Maybe they still have health issues, and maybe Brook Lopez doesn't come back or things of that nature, but you never know. And I think Billy Donovan's done a hell of a job. Once again, number 2 in the East, and they're moving, man. They're moving. Number 2 on my list, a team that should be a lottery team, a team that should not be talked about how they're talked about, a team that shouldn't be in games that they are, a team that is the 8th seed in the West, the Clippers. Ty Lue hasn't had Kawhi all season. He is 15-18 without Paul George this year. Paul George has only played 26 games. He's 15-18 without damn near 500 without 2 of the best players on the planet. You're talking about a team that's pulling out there, praying that's putting out Marcus Morris, Reggie Jackson, Luke Kennard, and Zubac out there, praying they win. And they're winning. And Nick Batum, it's crazy that they're winning. It's wild. It's crazy that they're doing all this without those guys. But the number 1 guy, y'all know where I'm going with this, has now it's 18 different starting lineups this year. Both his stars have been injured this year, have missed multiple games. His 6th man of the year has missed the past 2 weeks with injury before the All-Star break. Coach Eric Spoelstra with the number 1 seed in the East, the Miami Heat. What can you say? When will this guy get an award? When it's the pop thing now, right? And Spo, it's crazy to say this. Spo is in that stratosphere. There are 2 best coaches in the league right now, and I love Nick Nurse. He's a level below Spo and Pop. I hate to say it, he's a level below Spo and Pop. And this year, Nick Nurse if he gets this team to the playoffs, like as a 6, 7 seed, 5 seed, you don't know what they could do. I think they're going to be a play-in team. But if they get that far with Scotty Brooks, with Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet, they just got Gary Trent back, right, and he's going crazy. That team is nice. They shouldn't be this good. I don't think they should. I don't think with the lack of star power and just camaraderie that roster had at the beginning of the season, other than VanVleet and Siakam, I don't think they should be in this position. But they are, and I think that's also a power to the players of Fred VanVleet is just a baller. He's just a baller, bro. He just is. But, Spo is my coach of the year because I watch him coach every single night that we play. And it isn't Jimmy Butler plays tonight. It isn't Bam Adebayo plays tonight. It's Coach Spoelstra's coaching tonight. We have a chance every single night without Kyle Lowry, who now you see Jimmy and Bam's numbers. Bam Adebayo's numbers went from 18 a game, and then his fucking last 7 before we go into All-Star break, he's averaging 26 and 13. Okay? Do you think that's a coincidence, or do you think that our point guard is out there so Jimmy and Bam aren't over-facilitating? We've never had a true point guard on the Heat yet, and that's what people, I think, I underestimated him. I underestimated Kyle Lowry. I did. I'll admit it, and that's okay. I thought he'd wake up one day and not be able to play basketball again, and that day will come. But I digress. Here we are. Coach Spo, my coach of the year, and that's that. So, going on to most improved player, okay? Most improved player. This is an interesting award because we had to do like Luka in there one year, and usually it's a guy that takes a big leap. that is a young guy that didn't get a lot of minutes his first year. And maybe that's what happens with my list this year. We'll never know. We won't know until now, huh? Number 3 on the list is a guy who has improved so much. Has become to me, a staple and a guy that you look at as a dude that you need on your team to win a championship. A guy as in the build of a player, right? A guy that could be the best third option in the league, in my opinion. No doubt about it. In this league at one point when he gets to his prime. And then he could be a damn good number 2 on a playoff team. On a playoff team. And he's not on a playoff team right now. They're a play-in team. His name is Miles Bridges. He is now averaging 20-7. Now, with most improved player, it's one of those awards. Like MVP is a number award, even though I'll get to that. You know, I'm not gonna foreshadow. Most improved player to me is so much more of an eye test award than numbers, even though numbers come into it because the numbers correlate with the eye test most of the time, right? Most improved player, like Miles Bridges is out there, and when he's open for a 3, I go, oh shit. I've never had that feeling with Miles Bridges. His game, his bag, his dribble moves, his post-up moves, the way he can finish at the rim without doing a tomahawk dunk, the way he has post-up, fadeaway, like he's developing I think that dude could average 25 to 27 in one of these seasons. One of these seasons in his career will have a 25-point-per-game year. And that dude, I never thought that could be him. I thought he'd be an 18, 5, and 3 guy his whole career. I thought he was electric. But that's where you see the growth, right there. Right there. And talking about growth, this next guy, number 2 on the list. He has become, I saw flashes of it when I first saw him. He didn't get minutes because of his coach. His coach is a bad coach. Bad coach. That's why his team, to me, will not be a contender and will hold them back, but they will make my contender list. I'll say it right now. Foreshadow. This guy has finishing ability of a high-level wing when he was a rookie. He now still has that. He has now developed a pull-up three-point shot. Once he gets his playmaking down, he will become, to me, one of the best young guards in the NBA. Number 2, Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey is number 2 on my most improved list. Why? He doubled everything. I'm looking at his stats here. He 2 times everything. He's averaging 17, 4, and 5 with 30-plus minutes a game. Last year, he averaged 8, 2, and 2 on 15 minutes a game. Same field goal percentage, same everything, but his three-pointer has improved. And if you watch him play, when you got a guy averaging 30 on your team, putting up 40 for a fucking month straight, you're not going to get these scoring opportunities. And it seems sometimes his numbers are, I could easily see him averaging 20 to 21 this year, by the way, with if Doc just gave him more opportunity. Sometimes you see this long stretch without Maxey. The offense is just dead and just throw it to Joe, or when Joe's out, it's just stagnant, standstill. Tobias pulling up for middies. You know what I mean? And as a dude who I think was probably, if you look at the options on the offense, was he the 4th option? Tyrese Maxey? The 4th? I know he handles the ball a lot. When they had Seth, when they had Toby, when they had Joe. 4th? Arguably the 4th option. I think he was the 4th option. I would say he should have been the 2nd option. I know that sounds crazy, even though beginning of the year, Seth Curry looked like he was his brother. But I understand running the offense through your son-in-law as well. And Toby, he's kind of been just disappointing this year, just absolutely disappointing. And, but Tyrese Maxey he's just incredible. He's just an incredible player, and I think he's just going to continue to grow, and you'll see growth in him. I wanted to put Tyler Hero on this list, but he just couldn't make it. He's had a 5-point-per-game improvement from last year. Last year he was unhealthy. He's on the honorable mention list, by the way. Number 1, a dude that is an MVP candidate. You probably already know where I'm at. But a dude who's up 8 points per game in scoring, 2 rebounds a game. He's shooting 50% and we'll delve into him later. My most improved player is Ja Morant. Do you see what happens when superstars take leaps? Their team goes from first round exit to fucking 3 seed. Like, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. They go from first round exit to 3 seed, right? When he makes this massive leap, that roster is cold as shit. You have to pray you get those guys stay together. Stay together. Please stay together. I don't think it'll happen. I think that these guys, man, that roster's so fun to watch, though. That's a damn good, gritty-ass, fun team. That's a fun team to watch. They run, they shoot, they block shots, Jaren Jackson. They do a lot of shit. And Ja Morant is my most improved player, okay? I just think that he personally is God. He just improved more than all these guys because you don't go from a damn he could be something crazy to an MVP candidate. So the next award on the list is Sixth Man of the Year. This award is pretty easy to me. This award is a runaway favorite, and I think it's pretty simple. But number 3 on the list, he will be on the list forever until he retires, probably. Jordan Clarkson. His 3-point percentage is down in the low 30s. Last year he was 37%. This year he's just low 30s. He's not playing as well. But, you know, that team is going to miss Joe Ingles more than they know. That team is going to miss Joe Ingles way more than they know. And now, it's smart, though. It's smart of a team who is trying to win now, because you have to with a dude like Spider on your team, on your team. You have to. You have a budding superstar that is turning into, honestly, D Wade with a 3-point shot. I don't compare anybody to D Wade. I think D Wade is one of the most unique players. I'm not going to go on a tangent about D Wade. I think D Wade is one of the most unique players we've ever seen in basketball. One of the few players who was considered in the class, and he is the only one that was ever in the consideration for best player in the world with LeBron and Kobe, ever in his peak. And you know what he didn't do? Shoot. He was a 6'4" guard who was a slashing posterizer, lived at the line. It was Ja Morant before Ja Morant. It was Russell Westbrook before Russell Westbrook. He's better than both those guys. Freak athlete. Like, some people didn't watch D Wade, man. People don't know how crazy he is. The teams he played with, the way he led them to the playoffs, the 08-09 season where I believe he should have won MVP, averaging 30 points a game. It was just, damn, man. Go look at the teams he played on. Champion of 24. Crazy. But anyways, talking about Spider Mitchell, went on a D-Wade tangent. Sixth Man of the Year, Jesus. It's so funny looking at Sixth Man of the Year. Once again, Jordan Clarkson, number 3. Number 2, it's funny, when I went and did this research, I was looking at people who I thought, and these 3 guys were instantly in my head, right? These 3 guys instantly came to my head. I looked at other ones, didn't consider them. They all shoot 40%. It's like they just go in and run and gun, right? It's so funny. They just shoot contested shots. You got to be a flamethrower off the bench. The second guy, an unexpected team, an unexpected player to have some of the performances. His peaks have been crazy this year, but he was always a really good, great player in his prime. The 3-point shooting big man, the rebound king in Minnesota, Kevin Love, number 2. 14 points a game. He's doing his thing. And I love that he's accepted his role. He's gone from giving up on his team last year, 2 years ago, to this. To really seeing what he has around him and realizing he can be a leader and show them what it takes. And I think he's gonna have fun being back in the playoffs. And I wanted Kevin Love out of Cleveland, but I think he's good for Cleveland right now. Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, Darius Garland. Also honorable mention for most improved player, going nutty. Watched him at Vanderbilt for the 5 games he played. I just heard I'm really into SEC college basketball. I watch almost every game in the SEC that I can. You can't watch every game, but the big-time matchups, like I just watched LSU, Kentucky last night. Those big-time matchups. And I watched him in those bullshit games at the beginning of the season, and then, he played, and damn, he was good. He could dribble, he could shoot. Pretty impressive. I just heard of him as a recruit, and he's damn good. And yeah, Kevin Love, number 2, had a resurgence. He's a 40% three-point shooter, and I feel really good for K Love because I actually respect his game, and I respect what he did before he went to Cleveland. So, number 1, the favorite, easily number 1 seed in the East, Tyler Hero. He's essential to the team. He's the second leading scorer on the basketball team. Second leading scorer. 20 points a game off the bench. Closer. Clutch time. Off the dribble. Wow. I see a lot of D-Book in his game. I see a lot of Kyrie in his game. Doesn't have enough sauce with the dribble, and his finishing ability isn't there, but I've seen improvement from this guy, eye test wise. His finishing ability is it's going to be crazy. But yeah, Tyler Hero, there's not much to say there, man. He's just a baller. He's just a hooper. I call him Saucy T, Swaggy T. I don't call him Bucket, but he is a bucket. And, he's just fun to watch. He's a fun player to watch, man. So after this next award, we're going to take a break. Not really a break, just a cut. So I can just maybe I'll go eat a sandwich. Maybe I'll do something else. Who knows? But I'm going to come back and record the rest of the pod for the MVP because I think an MVP discussion is a long discussion. I think it takes in-depth thinking and how teams are performing and what would happen without them and things like that. So, Defensive Player of the Year. Number 3 is the anchor to the 3rd best defense in the league. He's averaging a steal a game. He's averaging 2 blocks a game. I think he's not being talked about enough in the Defensive Player of the Year rankings. It's a team I've been watching a lot because of their star player. And I've watched, most of the time, guys, when I say I've watched a team a lot, if I say I've seen a team plenty enough to know what they are, I've seen them probably 10 games. 8 to 10 games. And I'll give you this little note before I announce this guy. To me, you can't watch every single team because, about 10 to 12 teams aren't worth watching, okay? They're not worth watching. But maybe you catch one of those bad teams against a team you want to watch. This is how I would say. You can watch 5 teams of one team. Mid-season, before the All-Star break, you watch 5 teams of one team against an elite team, a bad team, and a good team, and the other 2 don't matter. Those are for consistency rankings, right? Make sure they're healthy, see what they're missing, and you can get a pretty good analysis of that squad. There's very little teams that are worth talking about that go through 5-game shithole skids or some teams go through 5-game peaks. Look at the Suns, but that's why when you watch them, you go, that's one of the best basketball teams I've probably seen since the Golden State Warriors in 2016 with their ball movement, their shooting, their versatility on defense, their free throw shooting, everything, their clutch time gene, all that shit, right? You get 5 to 7 games just for consistency. Terrible team, see if they blow them out, or if you see they're pitter-pattering through the first 2 quarters and they beat them by 15 in the third, beat them by 10 in the fourth, you know they're a good-ass team, right? So this guy, underrated, not talked about enough, Jaren Jackson Jr. Doesn't play a lot of minutes, actually. Plays 27 minutes a game. I would play him more, and he can shoot that ball, goddamn. But defensively, he's an athletic big that can cover a lot of space with his arms. And coming out the draft, it's unfortunate. I'm glad he's been healthy. He's been healthy. Because he was one of those players I was excited about. Doesn't have the prettiest jumper, but he can shoot. Coming out the draft, he could block shots. And man, he was a dominant force at Michigan State. But now he's come to the league, had some injury problems, got a huge deal for being hurt that you saw potential. And look what he's done. He hasn't shied away from that deal. He's been balling. Okay? He's a very important piece that isn't talked about on that team. I love Triple J. Very good. Once again, third best defense in the league. Number 2, a dude that I think should be Defensive Player of the Year, but he's had some games missed. On the second best defense in the league, he's called himself the best defender of all time, Draymond Green. Draymond Green is the centerpiece of that team on either side of the ball, in the locker room, in the organization, anything. I had funny takes about Draymond Green. Had a lot of wild takes about Draymond Green back in the day. And, you know, I just didn't appreciate what he is. He's just a basketball just nerd. Basketball genius in his own right? I don't call people geniuses because that's a dumb word. Everybody gets called a genius. These motherfuckers are out here without a fucking high school education getting called geniuses because they like draw a shoe or some shit. It's fucking stupid. And I don't say savant because stop saying savant. I've said this 100 times. Quit calling people savants. Do you know what a savant is? A savant is a person that is below average, if not minimally in intelligence, as in retardation, in all aspects of life, but really peaks at a genius level at one topic, one subject, one certain thing. Stop calling people basketball savants. That isn't the right word. And I know how you mean it. Stop saying it. Stop saying savant. Jesus. I got into college. I went back to college at 26, and now I think I can tell people how to use words and shit, right? Right? Now I think I can just tell people what the fuck's going on with their life. Pretty funny. But Draymond Green, great player. Beside that, great player. And I can't wait till he goes full-time broadcasting, but I'm going to enjoy his career because I really do appreciate what he does for the Golden State Warriors and how he is the coal to that engine of that train that just, you know, beats you down. So, the number 1 guy, you know, I've hated on him a lot. You know, I hate this player, but he's going to win it. He's going to win it. Just kidding. Not Rudy Gobert. Love Giannis. It's Giannis. Fuck Rudy Gobert. I forgot. The YouTube gods were telling me don't say the F word. I've said 12. You know, I don't know what the hell to say. Fuck him, man. I don't care about this shit. Listen, Rudy Gobert will never make a list after what Terrence Mann did to him. Okay? Never. Giannis. Just by default, really. Most versatile defender in basketball, him and Bam. The other two don't play. Ben Simmons and AD don't play. Joel Embiid is honorable mention for this award. But Joel Embiid will never win a Defensive Player of the Year award until he averages about 19 points because they don't look at his defense. He's an elite defender. But he's an honorable mention for this. This is more of like a specialist award almost, except for Giannis. And you know, Defensive Player of the Year is one of those awards that you don't get new names in, right? You kind of see this award get floated around, and it's just the same names you've seen every fucking year. It's a center, it's the best perimeter defender in the world, and it's another center that's kind of versatile, right? Bam Adebayo, versatile center. Rudy Gobert, bum. And then, or it's like one of the best players in the world like Kawhi Leonard and Giannis. It really does not, it's not, I don't like the award because I don't think they give it out fairly. I truly don't. So we're going to take a break. Once again, Coach of the Year, Spo. Most Improved, John Morant. Sixth Man of the Year is Tyler Hero. Defensive Player of the Year is Giannis. We're going to take a break and we'll come back with this MVP discussion, dog. And then I'm going to go eat some fucking biscuits and gravy. Because I've been craving it like the fat, pasty fuck that I am. Okay, I'll be right back. Part number 2 of the podcast. You like that? You like that high-pitched fucking scream? Okay, MVP discussion. Now, the narrative around MVPs, to me, dumb. I don't know what it is. So this is what I would say. If I'm talking to you about a player and we say, what's the expectation of the team? Is it championship? Is it not? To me, you don't have to be a championship contender to win MVP considering Russell Westbrook. That was the definition of most valuable to me. But also, when you have all these high-performing athletes who, when you watch them with the eye test, not just stats, man. I'm a stats dude, not just stats. When you see them perform and you see that some guys are just on another level than other people, entertainment value to me matters in MVP. It does. Are you entertaining to watch? Does your team have a chance at a championship? A puncher's chance? Any chance? There's 2 guys on this list I believe no. But there's just a lot of things that I look at. It's very odd. It's a hard award. That's why I'm just going to give you my list. I don't give a shit. You know? And one dude's going to be way lower than anybody else's, and another dude may be way higher than everybody else's. So with that being said, let's get into it. Number 5, a dude who I thought's prime was over. I thought he would just be another guy that when you look at his stats, he's always averaging 20. He's always hitting clutch shots. He's a veteran leader on his way out in like 4 or 5 years. But this guy has revamped his career, has thought his prime was over, is at the best point in his career where he is playing the best basketball of his career, arguably. On a team that has the 2 seed in the East is DeMar DeRozan. He's going into the All-Star break 8 straight games with 30-plus points. 7 of those he shoots 50% or higher, going crazy. Now, do they have a chance at a championship? I'm going to answer these questions every time I fucking talk about a guy. Do they have a chance at a championship? To me, no. They don't. They don't have a chance. Maybe a puncher's chance. Maybe a fighting chance, whatever you want to call it, a small percentage of 3%, 4%, but I don't think they have a chance at winning a title. But what he's done individually and how he's risen that up with that addition and Lonzo, even though Lonzo's missing games, he's basically with Zach LaVine out for some games, he's elevated them to the 2 seed damn near by himself. 28-5-5 from a DeMar DeRozan that the Lakers could have had. That is going to be the biggest regret other than the Buddy Hield trade. I'd say that's bigger than the Buddy Hield trade, looking at how he's playing now. Like, wow. He wanted to go there. He said he'd take a pay cut. Now, do I believe that? I don't know, because he got a pretty fat fucking deal from the damn Bulls. But it's better than the Westbrook contract, right? Way better than the Westbrook contract. Could have easily got DeMar DeRozan. And he has just been phenomenal. God, he's fun to watch. Once again, my top 5 teams I've been watching this year. Not top 5 in the league, but my 5 teams I've watched the most. My friends' teams, Mavs, 76ers, my Heat, the Bulls, and the Lakers. The Lakers are always in there because I will watch every LeBron game until he retires. I'm going to try to. And last year it was the Blazers and the Lakers, but LeBron was out for a lot, so I watched the Warriors and Steph's one-man show. The Grizzlies are going up on that list. I call them NBA League Pass teams. The Bulls were an NBA League Pass team. The Grizzlies are an NBA League Pass team. They're just fun to watch. Now, this is the next guy is going to be underrated to a lot of you. And I don't give a shit. Call me dumb. I'm not the national media. I don't look at all these dumb analytics they're looking at. The analytics freaks love this guy. His plus minus is a 7.1, which is bananas considering that Joel Embiid is a 4.7, I believe. And it seems like they get blown out. Like they blow a 15-point lead when he sits on the bench. He's averaging 26, 14, and 8. Yuck. And he's the 6th seed in the West. It's Nikola Jokic. Now, my point with this is, and this is me just having confirmation bias, okay? This is me just confirming what I believe with things that really don't matter, but to me, just confirm my point, right? Imagine if this conference was healthy. People forget Dame was struggling with this abdominal injury during the Olympics. We're talking about the new foul rules and shit. Nobody brings up his health. Imagine if this conference is healthy. Imagine if the Clippers are healthy. Imagine if Portland's healthy. Imagine if Zion plays. And they made that deal for CJ McCollum, even though you don't know if that would happen, but let's say it did. Where are the Nuggets? Honestly, where are they? Where are they? But that's why he's valuable. They shouldn't be a playoff team. They should not be a 6 seed. They should be a lottery team. Top 5 pick, top 6 pick with that roster they have out there without Jamal Murray. And it feels like Jamal Murray tore his ACL like 3 years ago because of the whole like 2 seasons in one with the bubble and then the next season. That my take is just aging like fine wine. Woo! That take where last year was the real bubble season. All the injuries that took place, all the teams that were in that were unsuccessful come back with the bubble year, and they become successful because other teams are worn out, deprived on energy, things of that nature. It's turning out to be a great take. Knicks, Hawks, where you at? Where are you? Those are the only 2 examples every time that come off my head. And I have no other examples. And if I go look, I'm going to find them. And my next video, I'm bringing it up. Dude, my hair looks bananas on camera. I got 2 wings hanging out my fucking head. Now, Jokic just, no entertainment value also. Does he bring entertainment value to you? Like when you watch him, you go, damn, he's going off. Damn, he can hoop. Damn, that's crazy. He's 7 feet and he does that. He's goofy. He commits battery and assault on innocent humans at half court that wear Heat jerseys. That's been out for months with whiplash. That's what I think when I watch him play. That's what I think. You piece of shit. I'm not scared of your brothers. I'll knock both of them out with each hand. I'll Superman punch the fuck out them boys. What's up? Clean ass jersey. God, get it out. Makes my gut look big. I lost 12 pounds. with strep and COVID. You can do it too. That's my weight loss program, you motherfucker. Number 3. What if I told you a point guard was only 5 ticks in percentage points, 5 to 7 ticks in percentage points to Rudy Gobert, LeBron James, AD, and Giannis in the paint? What if I told you he averaged 28, 6, and 7? What if I told you he did that while shooting 50% from the floor? What if I told you he did that and he had the fucking 3rd seed in the West? Well, that's Ja Morant. A dude who is absolutely carrying this team. And you can say they're 12-2 without him. It's a great built squad. But he makes them a championship threat. Not a contender, they're different, right? A threat and a contender are different. They're a threat. He makes them a threat. Without them on the team, what do you think of that team? They're not one piece away. They're one superstar away. And he's the superstar. I would love to see Ja without that surrounding core. It wouldn't happen, right? It won't happen. And an MVP candidate does what he did. Just like DeMar DeRozan. You take a team that is borderline playoffs, not playoffs, or just a low seed, a first round and out team like the Grizzlies, and then you become an MVP. Now you're the 3 seed. Now people looking at you sideways like, what the fuck's going on over there? Now people are hating. Now Desmond Bane has a name in this league. Even though if you watched basketball last year, you knew he could shoot. But now he's known as a 3-and-D specialist. Everybody around you is getting, noticed by the media, getting attention. Name the Nuggets starting 5 right now. I watch basketball every night, and I'm guessing here this is their starting 5. Will Barton, Monte Morris, Jeff Green, Jokic, and Aaron Gordon. Did not look it up. That may be their starting 5. I don't know. With their injuries, I would imagine that's their starting 5. But were you able to name that starting 5? Now, name some people on the Grizzlies, even if you're a casual fan. You can probably name Jaren Jackson. Steven Adams, maybe not. Desmond Bane, DeAnthony Melton. Dylan Brooks. Some guys on there, right? Because of Ja. And they get noticed. And they're getting nationally televised games. I don't want to watch the Nuggets on ESPN. Keep them the fuck off my screen, man. This is my point. Entertainment value. Ja is the most entertaining man, arguably, in sports right now. No? I think he is a highlight every night. It makes no sense. Highlight a night is what I'm going to call him. Half man, half highlight. It's every night I see him do some... The fucking shot he made on the 76ers, I think it was to go into OT on Drummond. How the fuck does he do that? He does that every night on basically every finish. And then he'll have a fucking 360 tomahawk between the legs, around the back, over the head dunk. His entertainment is undeniable. His value, undeniable. His skill, undeniable. Second guy. This is more of a projection of the season, which is not smart on my part to predict an award. Or not predict, to give my award. This is projection of the season. What is he going to do the rest of the season? And I think this guy, like the rest of these guys, are going to stay consistent or go a notch down. This guy is going to go up. This guy's going to... Why did my voice just go out? Is it up? This guy's going to go up to me. Dude, my hair. I hate it. I hate it. When it's washed like this, it doesn't look too good. Maybe put some gel in or something. Anyways, this guy's going to go up for me. He just seems to be cruising. 33 minutes a game. For this guy is not Elijah. He could be at 38 easily. 29, 11, and 6, 55% shooting. Milwaukee Bucks, 5th seed. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Talking about, to me, the best player in the world. Right now, he's the best player in the world. And best two-way player, however you want to say it, I don't care. He is better than Kawhi Leonard, and he's just as good at defense as Kawhi Leonard. Now, they do it in separate ways. I'm not saying he's clamping everybody on the perimeter, but if you get past him, he's blocking your shit, making it tough. You know what I mean? He's Kawhi Leonard, but better. And when we saw Kawhi, we never thought we'd have that two-way player like that. That was a 27-a-night lockdown defender. Before that, it was LeBron. He didn't get his Defensive Player of the Year somehow. That was crazy. And that's just, I know I'm a LeBron stan. Him not getting Defensive Player of the Year one of those 2 years in Miami, 2012, 2013, 2014, when he was at peak LeBron status, peak athleticism with skill, with defense, with mind, with ability. And then 2016 was offensive juggernaut, selective defense Braun. I mean, every minute he played, he was peaking out. That LeBron should have won the Defensive Player of the Year. But reigning Defensive Player of the Year, reigning MVP, Finals MVP, Finals. This is a guy that's tacking on his resume. He's going to go down as one of the greatest players who has ever touched a basketball, and I've said that for a long time. I said if he gets a championship, he's auto top 15 to me. Top 15 right now, Giannis Antetokounmpo, because when you look at the career, he's 27. When you look at that, he's going to play for 8 to 10 more years. He could literally play as a center. 8 to 10 more years of this. A fucking 30, 11, and 6, and his jump shooting's improving. And his free throws are improving. and he's going to become a better playmaker, and he's going to get more of a bag with his dribbles and his post moves. And get the fuck out of here, man. He's crazy. And he's entertaining. Giannis is entertaining. That team is entertaining. You know? Like, it's a difference. It's like Jokic could do, let's say Jokic did what LeBron did with like the 07 Cavs, right? Let's say he did that. I'm watching LeBron with that team over Jokic every time. And Jokic would never get him to the finals. I'm talking about regular season wins. All that. Let's say he was that important to that team. I would never watch that team. You would go, holy shit, that fat fuck is balling. But you would never watch him. Number one. So Devin Booker, right? This is relating back to the MVP. Devin Booker is what? He's one of the best mid-range shooters of all time. Not all, sorry. All time. Well, he may be. He may get up there. He's young as shit. What is he, 26? 25, 26? He's young as hell. Devin Booker is one of the best mid-range scorers in the game, right? You think of him, you think mid-range bucket. What if I told you a center was only 2 percentage points behind him in mid-range percentage with the same amount of attempts? And what if I told you that center was the most dominant paint force in the NBA that we've seen since the likes of Shaq or since the likes of Tim Duncan, who was a dominant force, did it in a different way. But dominant in the sense of big body, you put you under the fucking rim, make you regret guarding me ever. You have to double him every play. What if I told you this guy shot shot 37% from the three-point line while shooting 50% from the field, where he's the most dominant player in the league, yet his finesse to his game is magical. Like a real unicorn. Porzingis is not the unicorn. What if I told you this dude was 7'2", 300, almost 300 pounds? Sometimes moves like a gazelle. Has moves like a guard. What if I told you this guy, I know, I'm going to keep going. They're the 3 seed, 50% shooting, 37 from 3, 30, 11, and 5. Just like the D-book point, look at all these people. I'm looking at my stats. He's within a percentage point or 2 of these people from mid-range at center. Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, Devin Booker, and Paul George as a center. That's Joel Embiid. That's the MVP. I don't need stats to even defend this. If you watch him play, like I watch him play, I watch my favorite team, I watch LeBron play, I watch Ja play, I watch Giannis, I watch all the best players. That dude, Joel Embiid, nobody can compare to right now. And I think he's the second best player in the world right now. I'm telling you, he's the second best player in the world as a center. We had AD and Joel debates not too long ago, and now that looks bad. Even though Joel has had injury problems, it still looks stupid. If he was to get hurt his rest of his career every season, roll his ankle and be out for 8 weeks like fucking Anthony Davis, it's not a debate of who's better. Not anymore. He is an alpha. He has the storyline to win this. No Ben Simmons all season. You're talking about you got $100 million sitting at home watching. $100 million. Your second best player, you don't even have one. Honestly, it could be Tyrese Maxey, a second-year player. It could be Seth Curry, who was a specialist who upped his game this year. Or it could be Tobias Harris one night when he's been disappointing. Those are your second-best players. And when you watch the game when Joe was out, there is no offense. When you watch the games, Joel can't be stopped. When you watch the game, this is another difference. When you watch Philly games, a fan or not, you go give him the ball every possession. I don't care if he shoots. I don't care if he passes. I don't care what the fuck he does. Get him the ball. And this is one of the best seasons from a big man physically as in physically imposing, that we've seen in the modern era. I know that sounds crazy. This is the most physically imposing body. Pause. Him and Giannis are the most physically imposing. And he's got girth, pause, and size on Giannis. Pause. And he's a freak. He's a freak. And I stand Joe pretty hard. But I wouldn't stand him if he didn't deserve it. I don't ever stand people that don't deserve it other than fucking D'Angelo Russell. I'll say it, I'm a huge D'Angelo Russell fan randomly. It's because I had to stick by the take I had when he came out of Ohio State. Oh. But yeah, that's my MVP list. That's my award list. Thank you for listening to the podcast. And the pod GOAT is out. Joel Embiid is the real MVP. Dude!